Welcome to the talk show Life Stories with Mark Hoberman. The goal of this show is to provide a learning experience to people of all ages, with guests from various fields in academics, a wide range of industries, and insight into the many forms of art, athletics, and entertainment. We hope you enjoy the show. Chicago-based the Pack Drumline has changed the lives of many at-risk youth. The group has recently earned its place on the world's largest stage, America's Got Talent. Founded by Perry Donta'e, the Pack Drumline is destined for greatness.
Hello, and welcome to the talk show Life Stories with Mark Hoberman. My guest today is the founder of the Pack Drumline, Perry Donta'e. Donta'e has some very exciting news and a great story about how he got on the world's biggest stage. Let's bring him on. So, Perry Donta'e, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, man.
Oh, my pleasure. So, I don't know, anything new? Just kidding around. We all know what's new. But to be honest, I first want to talk about the genesis of your program. And, how was the Pack Drumline born?
So I started working for this not-for-profit in 2013. And while I was working there, to be honest, I was probably one of the more of the lazier workers. I was young. I was, my early 20s. And one day they kind of, the directors came and sat with me and they were like, all right, Perry, you need to either create something that can help us or we might have to let you go. And at the time, I was a community activist and I was also going door by door, trying to get students to be a part of programs. I run a lot of programs within the community at elementary schools, kind of like read them stories, kind of like Big Brother programs, stuff like that. But I didn't really always take it as serious as I should. And once I got the opportunity to start my own program, that's when this idea came to me to play drums and teach students how to play drums. And I thought it'd be a great outlet. And I need to find students at the time in order to create this program. And at the time it was called Street Beat. And as we were, formalizing, as we were creating, I realized that we didn't have any money really to run this program. So that's when we decided to, maybe we can use bucket drums and PVC pipes. And what we do, we go to Home Depot, we get a long PVC pipe, and then we'll cut it about 10 inches, and we use that as drumsticks. And it helped because it was so cheap to get PVC pipes. So once we got students going and got the program, we did it for about a year until we unfortunately lost the name. There was another team by the name of Street Beat that was out of LA. So unfortunately, we had to change it. And that's when we became a group that was called Rise Up, which was still the same thing, an after school program. Only this time we started dealing with more middle school and high schoolers. And that's when we really started seeing that there was a demand for what like kids kind of needed at a certain age. So once we really had this program going, it was amazing at the time. And we had about 50 students that were there. We had a musical program for people who play instruments, something for the drums. We had color guard. We had, if you was an artist, we did like after school poetry, and we was doing a whole bunch of stuff for the community. And out of nowhere, the budgets got cut. And at the time, we were running a facility out of Bolingbrook, and it really hit us hard. And we were unfortunately not able to run the programs we wanted because the state was kind of giving us money to run the program to be able to feed the students after school because you'd be able to get meals and stuff like that. So we kind of start, working on other things on the side. And, for the students that was there, we didn't want to give up. So we told them, you can stay here, like we'll give you a chance, like just work with us and we'll try to figure some things out. But unfortunately, like after school programs, they're not there to stick around if there's, no money and no budget. So we were stuck with about 15 people. And then we started working out of Chicago, and I started a new drum line. I had an opportunity to work with some big brands in Chicago, and we started formalizing different drum lines, and we never had a name at this point. And I was like, well, we can't have it the same thing as Bolingbrook because now we're working in Chicago. We need a different name. And then that's when me and my brother kind of got together and the name The Pack was formed. And then we kind of brought it back to Bolingbrook, and we was like, you know what, we don't want to leave you all out. Would y'all like to join this drum line that we have in the Pack? So we took all the students that were left, mixed with the adults that we have from Chicago, and then we became The Pack. And then at that time, it was still tricky. We have no money. We're trying to be a drum line, and these kids are young. These kids are like 16 years old. You're bringing them to Chicago for shows. their parents, are supportive, but they don't really care. They just like take them. So it's a big responsibility for like some early 20-year-olds, but we made it work and, come today, and that's who we really are. So we're not a program anymore. We're not a team. We're a family and we're a crew. Everybody knows each other like the back of their hand. We're all family. We are all from different parts of Chicago, from the suburbs, all the way from the South Side. You can find different members, and we all come together in Illinois to create this Pack Drumline, and we truly are family.
I think that's great. And I have to tell you that I've watched it, your performance on, of course, America's Got Talent many times. Don't know if you realize this, but at one point you were asked your name. You came out as a group, you came out as a team, you came out as a family, and you asked your name, and you said your first name, never heard the last name, never revisited it. And you are like the epitome of there's no I in team. And you hear that all the time in high school sports and college. Hey, there's no I in team. But you lived it. It wasn't about you. Your answers have almost nothing to do with you. It's really about those people who you lead and you're a part of. But most importantly, you have helped at-risk kids. I've worked with at-risk kids most of my career. But could you get a little specific into how you've helped at-risk youth and how even you were helped?
Yeah, so at the time, the at-risk students that we got were the ones that were did make the sports team, maybe had behavior issues, those who were kind of outcast, the people who didn't make the band, who really probably wanted to be drummers, but the teachers told them they weren't good enough. We took all of the outsiders and the outcasts, and what we did was we gave them hope, and we gave them opportunity to do anything that they really cared about. And that's how we ended up actually forming so many different programs, because we sat there with them, was like, yo, what do you want to do? And I've had the blessing to live multiple dreams of mine. And I know some people haven't lived one. And the fact that I was able to gravitate and touch those dreams, to pour that into them, like really gave them hope. So, you never know what a person does once they leave you, and the birds go off to fly. But you hope that everything that, we instilled and that we taught and that we showed them, is in their hearts, and we actually really always just show them that, you are cared for and all your dreams are possible. And for the students that's still here, the ones that started with me when they were 12, 13 years old and they're in their 20s now, they actually get to see it and feel it. And that's why you kind of see the emotions on stage, because it was like, that was our chance to we really just took that first breath of saying, like, we did it after so long and really believing and dreaming. And that was the moment, and that was really the dream.
That's outstanding. And it's so interesting to me because although it wasn't a cool instrument, I was in the marching band. As I said, I played the clarinet and sax. The clarinet may not be the coolest instrument, but I have to tell you that my middle school, certainly, and high school life was steeped in music and steeped in the band. We were award-winning. We played for a person who was running for president one time when I was in Yonkers, New York. And I have to tell you that when you talk about your dreams, I think it's wonderful that you're so appreciative. But you're right. Some people never achieve their dreams, and you're like kind of young to have all these great things happen to you. But it's not luck. I mean, it really is perseverance. That's what I hope the viewers are seeing today, because you really toe the line, even though it's the drum line. You really do, and you walk the walk and talk the talk. But I have to ask, America's Got Talent. It's not the first time you performed with your group in front of a lot of people. But what led you to try out for a spot on arguably what is the world's biggest stage, AGT?
I mean, first of all, from the moment, the show even came out when I was a teenager, I had this hunger to just want to be on the show. It was always like a dream of mine to be on that stage. And Simon has always been my favorite TV icon. His word is almost gold. So we've always wanted to do it. And, we've tried out for AGT many of times before this. And, we just never really kind of got our shot. We got close one time, just didn't work out. But everything happens for a reason. I'm a very faithful person. And I honestly feel like we were ready now than before. And, we took our shot. We honestly didn't know what would happen. We used our video from World of Dance that we did, and we didn't really think too much out of it. It was like the same thing, you try out for AGT every year, it comes out, and you don't really get anywhere. But this time it was different. You know, when you get that email, it is just, it's life changing. It's almost like you've seen something that doesn't really exist. Like you really don't believe it. And, you know, we just really wanted to do it. So we actually had no idea how far we get. We didn't know if we would be aired. We didn't know anything. You know, we were just very humbled to just go out there and audition and to just be able to touch that stage. Like we didn't even care if like they didn't show it on TV. We would have still been able to go off in our lives knowing that we touched that stage. And we talked to Simon and he gave us a standing ovation. And that's all that really meant to us. Like we don't really, all that's this stardom and people watching, like it's awesome. We really appreciate it, but it's about a self accomplishment in your heart that you really get to live the rest of your life with.
I think that's an amazing philosophy. And I have to tell you, you know, if I were in charge of the group when we were going on, I would say, you know, let's do something flashing, this and this. Well, let me tell you what I wouldn't say. How about this? How about towards the end, we have somebody come out and walk out and somebody is upside down drumming. Don't know that my brain would have gone there or the too many brains would have gone there. So what were you what's next? Are you guys coming in from a helicopter? I mean, there's no way to explain to anybody what it was you guys did. It wasn't just a drum line. There's nothing wrong with the drum line. But where does that creativity come from? Because you had to up your game. You're talking about Simon and, of course, the other judges, you know, and millions of people watching. Where did that creativity come from?
Well, to be honest, so we talked about dreams. 2008. I was a super drum head, and it's always been my dream to march in a marching band like the movie Drumline, like most, you know, students at that time. And at 2008, I had the opportunity to audition for Southern University in Louisiana, which is the Human Jukebox, the #1 showcase marching band all across the country. And I didn't think I would get in. I auditioned. It was terrible. I didn't make it. I came home. I called the school and I talked to the band director personally. I like, can you please take a shot on me? I know I had the worst audition in the world, but if you please accept me, I promise I'll be your protege. And they ended up giving me a scholarship. So when I went down there, here I am now in my dream school, and I'm learning so much in the culture. And that's what, like, upside down, like drumming, like that's a culture of HBCU drumming. Like down south, like marching band is key, it's hard. And up north, it's not really felt the same way that they do down south. So I was able to learn so much. And at the same time, my entire life, I've been a dancer. My mom is a dancer. So I've always had this element of dance and drumming, trying to put it together and just do the most on it. Because for me, it's not always about the playing. It's really about the show and the entertainment and how people feel when they watch the show and how they feel the impact, you know. So just going from that school and then bringing it back here and being on dance teams, you just kind of put it all together. And this is how the shows are created. You know, it's almost like I see music in color, and you kind of paint the picture in your head, like just feeling the rhythms and feeling the energy from everybody around it. It's really hard to explain, but like when it all comes out and I see it, I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe I created this, you know, because I still, like, I watch the video on AGT every day and I'm still in awe. And I'm like, you know, my team did such a great job, and I love the camera angles and I love what they did. And, you know, I'm very happy. And what we do for the next round, it's like a TV show. You know, you're gonna have to stay tuned and see what we do next.
Excellent. And I have to say that both my sons are musicians. One son is a drummer, one's a guitar player, and there certainly is a difference, you touched upon it, between playing and performing. But I have to tell you, if I were a great drummer and you heard me play and say, wow, Mark, you're great, you got to join the Pack Drumline. And by the way, here are the dance moves. Bye. I mean, you know, the drumming, I got you. But what? I mean, flipping and all this. So you put this all together with your, for lack of a better term, with your family. So I know that Simon Cowell always says that 2 minutes can change your life. So Perry, is he right?
Yes, he is absolutely right. We are changed completely and more humble than ever, more hungry than ever. And, you know, we just ready. We're excited. We have no idea what's going to be the next steps from here, but we just know that we had that opportunity, and it has just opened up our minds to like what we can do. Like we feel so unstoppable right now, and we're ready to just shoot our shot anywhere we can. You know, like we really want something. We just told ourselves we're going for it. No matter what, if we want it, we're going to go for it. If we fail, we're going to try again. And we're going to try again until we get it.
Well, I think that's great. You talk about failure. I mean, you had a bad experience auditioning. And you turn that around. And that's what some people are missing, because I would argue that the youth today don't have that stick-to-itness.
Yes.
And that's a problem. And I'm not getting on my soapbox. In academics, I was a teacher for years. And the truth is, these kinds of programs that help people, it's a shame that they sometimes lose their funding, because school, as you know, is not just about academics. We're talking about school shootings and suicides and drug use amongst teens are on the rise consistently. And programs such as this, you cannot put a price on it. So I have to ask you, with all you've been through in I would say your young life, what advice would you give to teens who are struggling and they are at risk? And how can they move forward in such a challenging world?
I let them know that there are people out there, and there are outlets out there that can really help. Sometimes you have to go the distance to find them. But if you can't, just know that every struggle, it happens for a reason. And every moment in your life that may have you down, or you feel like, you can't make it, it's because it's getting you ready for that next step in life to make you so much stronger. And every trial and tribulation you go through, you become better and better. So I tell them to never give up, to use every moment as a learning lesson and as a challenge of life, because when you get to those moments where you do accomplish something and you do celebrate everything that has happened before, it just makes that celebration feel so much just comes out. That's when the tears come out. That's when the celebration, if you ever seen The Pursuit of Happiness, the clap at the end, that's the feeling when you've been through so much. And, we all going to go through something, but it is possible. You can do it. Do not give up, because, it was written, and your dreams are right there in front of you. You just got to keep going.
Excellent advice. And I have to say that, obviously you do emerge as the leader. It is a family, but every family has a head. Yes. So what are you doing to keep them grounded? Because not that you guys weren't well known and didn't have a great reputation before America's Got Talent, but game changer, life changer. But at the end of the day, there's a business end to what you're doing, and you got to go out there and you got to bring it. What are you doing to keep your family grounded at this time? For a lot of them, I'm a big brother. For some people, I'm their father figure. And at the same time, I'm their coach and I'm their leader. And like any championship winning coach, the mentality is always structure. If you come and ask my team, they'll let you know, hey, we did 2,000 push-ups at the last rehearsal. Like, we are very militant, and you have to keep that militant behavior with them. I always tell them we're a sports team and we are athletes. So you have to keep your body in shape. You got to keep your mind strong. So I'm always definitely giving them challenges. We have probably one of the hardest workout challenges ever. Like, if you come to one of our workouts and you're always invited, I think you'll be pushed past, that limit. But I always tell them, like, we got to challenge ourselves. And it's respecting. I always try to build camaraderie. And it's all about looking at the person next to you and knowing that person next to you, you can trust them, and you're doing this part and you're having a great time with them. And that's all, like that father figure, keeping your family structured, keeping them disciplined, making sure everybody understands respect at all time. We're a very yes, sir, no, ma'am, no, sir group. It doesn't matter if you're 5 or if you're 45, we teach respect like that. Gentlemen, we always try to teach them etiquette, and, the women on our team, and understand them and being there for them. And, like, you really got to just make sure that everybody around you understands that their age and their position, and being big brothers and big sisters, and at the same time, keeping discipline. And when people do mess up, like I have 20-year-olds on my team, like 21-year-olds, 22s, like they're going to mess up. It's about having those conversations that are heartfelt, kind of like those Full House conversations, those Uncle Phil conversations, where you just, you're serious, but at the same time, you're compassionate, and you also let them understand that you've been there before. Because you don't want to push people away. You just want to bring them closer. And those moments really do help. Well, that's a great workout routine. And quite honestly, I think at some point, I get to Chicago once in a while, I may take you up on looking at one of your workouts, as you call it. I'm going to be a little embarrassed. Yeah. If I have a heart attack watching, that could be a little embarrassing. But I would do what I could do. So in closing, Perry, what's next for the Pack Drumline?
We're going to keep going, keep doing what we're doing, keep the family closer. We're always open. Our doors are still always open to new members, no matter where you are from in the Chicago area, as long as you can make it to us. And we're just going to keep pushing from here. We are in our fifth season right now of Chicago Sky. And, you know, the women are killing it right now. You know, they won a championship last year. So if you all are ever in Chicago and you go to a Chicago Sky game, we're at every single home game. We'll be around Chicago doing events, and, you know, we're just gonna keep working, and we're hoping for the best to continue to live our dreams, and, you know, and still riding off of this high from AGT, because it's still hard to believe in my mind. I still trying to process it all. And I really appreciate everybody who's watching, and I appreciate you, Mark. Thank you so much. This has been amazing, and you are such a sweet guy, and this conversation has been so genuine, so I really appreciate you for that.
Well, I want to thank you so much for that. I just have to tell you one thing that the viewers miss, and AGT is so phenomenal, but the real gold, and I don't say this lightly, is in your preparation, is in your attitude, and in your philosophy. And I wish you the most success on AGT, and I hope they hear more about your story, how it started, and yet what philosophy is, because that what you just said today is liquid gold as far as educating young people, as far as I'm concerned. So Perry Donta'e, I wish you the worlds of success for you in the Pack Drumline. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing your passion for helping young people, and sharing the joy of music and dance with the world. And to the viewers, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Perry, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Life Stories with Mark Hoberman. To contact Mark, email him at info@lifestorieswithmarkhoberman.com or visit him on social media through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Thank you for watching Life Stories with Mark Hoberman.